Turn to Psalm 34.
It's called Psalm 69.
Actually, that one did cross my mind. Rosie asked, "Were you preaching this morning?" I said, "That would be cheating if I told you." Psalm 34. You had the boss last week, so back to me this week. I've preached this before, but I just felt like going back to it, kind of taking the same twist and then a different twist on it. Because this is always one, it's good to hear. This is always something that's good to hear. Verse 1. I will bless the Lord at all times. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. Is that possible?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yes.
Okay, it is possible. How many agree it's possible? Do we do it? Be impossible in doing something. That's what catches us, isn't it? In Christianity, that's what catches us. We know what to do, but to get it done. There's just somebody throws a kink in the works between knowing and doing. There's always a kink somewhere. I will bless the Lord at all times. What does that mean? What does it mean to bless something? In this case, you're going to cheat?
It doesn't help.
Okay. She looked over at her amplifier.
It blew up, but it didn't.
Yep. She looks at it amplified and cheats on me. To bless is to praise, to salute, or to kneel down to something. If you bless something, you praise it or you salute it. And in this case, you're blessing the Lord is to kneel down. That's how we bless God. But well, I'll bless the Lord at all times. That's in all experiences, all occasions, all occurrences. Everything that happens, God, I will kneel down before you. I will praise you with everything that happens, in every occurrence, every occasion, every experience. I'll bless you. What is that scripture saying? That's an act of the will. Most of our life is an act of the will. We are not robots. How many believe that? We're not. You do what you do because you want to do it. You act the way you act because you want to act that way. We want to act that way. We have the emotions that we have because we want to have those emotions. You ever heard, I've never heard it personally, but you see it on TV. Woman gets beat up by a husband. You made me do this. No, she didn't. No. You drove me to do this. Or the man, the woman says, you drove me to do this. No, he didn't. Don't fool yourself. You do what you do because you want to do it. I will bless the Lord at all times. I will live continuously in an attitude of praise at all times. Every experience, every occasion, every occurrence, everything that happens, because I choose to. Why choose to do that? Why choose to act that way? Lord, I'm going to bless you. What do you get out of it? Nothing bad. You put yourself in an environment to change the situation. You put yourself in an environment to change what's going on. Well, it may never change. No, it may not. But you have an environment around you that something good can happen. And there's never a place for bitterness to come in. There's never a place for heartache to come in. There's never a place for a bunch of emotions to come in. I remember reading I have a book on martyrs. There's Fox's Book of Martyrs, and then there's a book of martyrs that I have. Fox's is about, a half-inch thick. This book I have is probably, 4 or 5 inches thick. It starts at Jesus and goes all the way through, I forget what year, 1600, something in there. All the martyrs they can find. But I remember reading one of them that was being taken to the lions. And he said, tomorrow I go to the lions. And what was written is that I can't wait to get there. You going to help me preach?
Preaching back there.
I can't wait to get there because every piece in me will bless God. Every bit of my body will bless God because I get to be with the Lord tomorrow. That's an attitude of I will bless God at all times. He was going to be lunch meat. Literally was headed off the next day to die. But his heart said, everything in him said, if I could just be there today. I wish I could be there now. Because everything in me wants to be with my Lord. That's a person that blesses God at all times. But his circumstance said, no, don't do it. Everything is bad. Everything is going wrong. Everything looks bad. Everything seems bad. It's an act of the will. It's a choice. What do we choose to do? We live like we live because we want to. We're depressed because we want to. We're in fear because we want to. We're happy because we want to. Rosie and I, as she was going through all the stuff, we were happy. We were under tons of pressure at times, but we laughed, we cut up, we were happy, we prayed, we blessed God, and the Lord brought us through. That's why the nurse said, I'm getting out of here. This is the happy room. Because we went in laughing and cutting up and happy. Circumstances don't dictate that. Your will does. Everything about it is your will. We live according to our will. Well, what if my will's wrong? Change it. Isn't it simple? Change it. You can't change a situation. You can't change a circumstance, but you can change how you act, how you react to it. When I was a young boy, my brother beat me up every day. This is a bad example, but it's a good example. It's a black and white kind of example. Every day. He was 5 years older than me. He had me by 50 pounds. I was a walking bone. I mean, it was about the 7th grade when I did this. I think I maybe weighed 100 pounds sopping wet.
Skeleton,
huh?
A skeleton with skin.
Yeah, it was skeleton with skin on it. There wasn't a bone. I mean, my brother used to pick me. He picked me up once by my biceps with his 2 fingers and held me up on the wall. And, you know, he had me by 50 pounds. He worked out. He was a football player, so he exercised and had muscles. And he used to make me cry. He'd beat me up, make me cry every day. One day I said, I've had it. Enough is enough. That's it. I couldn't fight back. I mean, he could beat me to a pulp. He could kill me, just pop my head off like a bird, and never thought twice about it. But I said, never again will he make me cry. And from that day forward, he never again made me cry. He'd beat me up, and I'd laugh at him. He'd push me to a wall, I'd laugh at him. He'd hurt me, and I'd laugh at him. It's a bad example, but it's an example of an act of the will. You choose what you do. You can choose to get mad, or you can choose to stay happy. You can choose to get in fear, or you can choose to walk in faith. You can choose to get bitter, or you can choose to forgive. You can choose to act one way, or you can choose to act another way. It is that simple. Everything else lines up. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. I'm just starting here, so we're going to get way off this course. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears. So look, this is not going to be a real long message. I sought the Lord, and he heard me. I sought the Lord. Now I have to stop because I'm going to get into this somewhat. To seek the Lord. I sought the Lord actually means to practice, study, follow, or seek with application. I sought the Lord. I went after God with application. Seeking to follow him. To practice, study, follow, seek with application. That's what it is. I sought the Lord. We like to think, I sought the Lord. I looked and I prayed and said, God, here I am. Do something. Here's my situation. Do something. Lord, it's not bad. I don't like it. Do something. Anybody ever done that? I have. I don't like it. Do something. Change it. I'm calling. Snap. Do something. I've done that. You know what? Never works. Never has worked. Never will work. Because what is he concerned with? You seeking him so he can change your life. It's all about change. It's all about, I am this, I'm going to become this. Getting from A to B, point A to point B. To do that, you have to seek with application. How many of you ladies have ever learned to cook without doing it? Can you read a book and learn how to cook? I mean, you can learn maybe the basics. You can learn it takes heat to cook something. You have to, you have to turn the oven on to 350. I mean, at some point you have to be told that. A little kid, just what he'll do, he'll take something, throw it in the oven, close the door, wake up in the middle of the night, close the door, and go in, and why isn't it cooking? Nobody knows. They don't know that. Why? They have to be taught. Everything we know, we have to be taught. But I sought the Lord means I went after him to practice, study, follow, or seek him with application. I'm trying to apply what I learned. In this message, what do you have to apply? I will bless the Lord at all times. That's an application thing that has to be applied over and over every day, every minute of every day, every situation, no matter how it looks. When I was a young Christian, I had so many emotions, so many things I had to learn, so many things I had to go through and change, and my life was being turned upside down, and I was in the ministry as a young Christian, and it wasn't a good situation, and it was getting worse by the day, being in the ministry at that point. And I used to go outside and pray. I'd walk late at night and pray. I'd walk in the morning and pray. I'd pray. God, you have to do something. But I was learning to roll my cares over on God. That was an application, a life lesson application. And I was to the point, God, if you don't do something, I die. I'm dying. That's it. You have to kill me. You either kill me or you change my situation. It was that simple. I wasn't, it wasn't suicidal. It wasn't that kind of thing. It was, Lord, I'm in this. You put me in this. You change it or you take me home. It's that simple. Change what's going on in my life or bring me to heaven. You make the choice, but you got to do something. I left and went to YWAM. He made the choice. But it took many, 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 many hours of praying and seeking the Lord, and seeking the Lord with application. The application was, you have a problem, cast your cares on him. That was my application. We don't always like application, do we? Let me jump down. Let me drop down here. Where am I? And delivered me from, he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. I sought the Lord, he heard me. See, that's the big thing. Before I drop down, let me finish that verse. I sought the Lord with application and he heard me. How many of us believe that? Do you believe he hears you? Do you believe sometimes he might hear you? We believe that as people, as humans. Sometimes God hears me. Sometimes I'm not so sure. Why? Because things don't happen the way we want them to happen. When we want them to happen. What's the best way to stay out of that point? To stay off of that, I wonder if he hears me. I will bless the Lord at all times. We keep ourselves in an environment and in a place of what? Continuous blessing of God. Continuous praise of God. Continually turning my life over to him. Lord, here I am. I'm going to bless you at all times. No matter what it looks like. I'm going to bless you. I'm going to praise you. My life is yours. Constantly by application. And what happens? I sought the Lord and he heard me. We get to a place of I know he hears me. And what happens? And he delivered me from all my fears. They took him, they looked upon him, were lightened. Their faces were ashamed. Poor man cried. Let me go down. It's going to read, the angel of the Lord encamped round about them that fear him and delivered them. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is a man that trusts in him. How many of you like that the angel of the Lord is encamped round about you? Do you like that? Sam, when you stop and think about it, there's an angel around you. The angel of the Lord is around you. I believe that. Do you believe that? I've actually seen the angels of God encamped around me at times. You know, the Lord will open my eyes, and there's times I can just look and see them. It's like, okay, we're okay. The angel of God's here. There's those times you think, oh, nothing's going to happen. Oh, look out, bad situation. Wait, oh, angel, okay, no problems. What can happen to you when the angel of God's there? I don't know, but whatever it is, it's going to be good. What if you die? Don't matter, I'm going to heaven. It's going to be good. God's here. I've seen the Spirit of the Lord come into meetings and just go around the meeting and just start zipping around the meeting. I said, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be good. And people get healed, words are happening, people's lives are changed, everything's going on. See, the angel of the Lord is encamped around us.